Hello everyone, I'm Anthony J Mead. I'm the author of Simplified I Ching, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about how we form the hexagrams of the I Ching by using just basic numbers. Now, in most I Ching books there are usually two methods of forming hexagrams. One is by using yarrow stalks, and the other is by tossing 3 coins. Now, we don't use those methods in Simplified I Ching. We use a very simple method of purely writing a question down on a piece of paper and divining by counting the words and letters of the question and doing a little bit of divination with numbers. Now, it may sound complicated. Believe me, it isn't. Once you get the hang of it, the formula repeats every time. It's not hard, and the degree of accuracy that you can achieve by using this method is fantastic. It really is. I mean, I can safely say that I've been using this method for years. I do it in my head. I count on my fingers. I'm screening hexagrams up in minutes. And the accuracy is fantastic. I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you how to achieve this and take this method on a shopping trip with you if you feel like it, because it's that easy. You can be walking around Tesco's and you can be divining at the same time as you're doing your shopping. Sit back, make a cup of tea, and I will guide you through the whole process. So, how do we form an I Ching hexagram? By using the Simplified I Ching method. Dead easy. Just write down a question. Any question. You can make it as long or as short as you want. There is no need for any punctuation. Just make sure you spell it right. In the example, look, we've written down a very simple question. What made my girlfriend leave me? Now, how do we go about forming the top trigram of our hexagram out of this particular format? Well, the first thing we do, look, is count the words of that question. There are 6 words, and we divide the question at the halfway point with a slash mark. So after my, in what made my, I put this slash mark, look, and the example is just beneath the first question. Now, count the letters in the first 3 words. You will find there are 10. We now use a simple formula that repeats every time. Divide 10 by 8. Why? Because there are 8 trigrams that make up every hexagram of the I Ching. We divide 10 by 8 and we get 1 with a remainder of 2. Therefore, the remainder number 2 forms the top trigram. And when you relate 2 in the Simplified I Ching book in relation to trigrams, you'll find it is Tui, the joyous principle. So the first 3 lines of our 6-line hexagram are made. The top trigram, look, is the joyous principle. How simple was that? I mean, that didn't take any time. We just did it. And you can do this in minutes once you get au fait with it. I'll just reiterate on it again, just very quickly. We write a question down in any format. Make it as simple as you can. In our example, look, what made my girlfriend leave me? Count the words of that question. There are 6. And go to the halfway point, look, and put a slash mark, a division mark. So you get what made my, the slash division mark, and then girlfriend leave me. Now count the letters in the first 3 words. There are 10. Use a simple formula that repeats every time. Divide 10 by 8. Why do we do it this way? Because there are 8 trigrams that make up every hexagram of the I Ching. So divide 10 by 8 and you get 1 with a remainder of 2, and the remainder number forms the top trigram, and this always happens every time that we do this. This is the method we use every time to form the top trigram of our hexagram. 2 relates to the trigram twee, the joyous principle. So the first 3 lines of our 6-line hexagram look, the top trigram is twee, the joyous principle. All you've got to do is practice this a few times, and I tell you, in 10 minutes you will have this off to a T. You will have this off to a T. And you can see now what I mean when I say you can walk to the shops and do this in your head. It is so easy. Once you've got the formula, once you've practiced with it for a bit, you can just walk down to your local superstore and you can be doing a question in your head. You can sit in your doctor's surgery, you're bored to death waiting to see the GP, so you form a little I Ching hexagram in your head and do a bit of divination. You're sitting on a bus, you're as bored as hell, it's raining, bus is packed, you don't know what to do. Screen a little hexagram up in your head and do it this way. You will find the level of accuracy in regard to this is just superb. It really is. It's practice makes perfect. It repeats itself every time, and you just gotta keep going with it. So there we are. This is the first point of reference. The top trigram has been formed. Now we must go on to the next level and form the bottom 3 lines, or the bottom trigram, so we get a hexagram in relation to our question. Okay, we have formed the top trigram, twee, from our question. Now we have to form the bottom trigram, and the formula repeats in exactly the same way. So we've got our question: what made my girlfriend leave me? To form the bottom trigram is simplicity itself. We just count the letters in the last 3 words. So we count the letters in girlfriend leave me. There are 17. So there's 17 letters, and we have to do a little calculation in exactly the same way that we've already done. We divide 17 by 8. We do it because there are 8 trigrams that make up all the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching. So we divide 17 by 8 and we get 2 with a remainder of 1. And it's the number 1 that will relate to our bottom trigram. You go into the Simplified I Ching book that deals with the trigrams of the I Ching, you see it, it's dead simple to do this, and you have the bottom trigram there. So the whole process is so simple, it's so easy, like shelling peas. In minutes you form 2 trigrams of the I Ching. Now if you were casting coins, or you were doing the yarrow stalk method, it'd take you all day. I mean, you certainly couldn't walk around the town and do it. All you have to do now to complete the mission is put both trigrams together, top and bottom, and form the hexagram in the I Ching that relates to the question we asked. What made my girlfriend leave me? In the next slide we can view the answer. Putting both trigrams together, we form an I Ching hexagram, thus getting the answer to our question. What made my girlfriend leave me? The hexagram we make, look, when we put the 2 trigrams together is 43 quai. resolution, a time when inferior people disappear. I mean, even though this was a theoretical question, look what it's thrown up. I mean, that hexagram, it's not normally a good one. That's not normally considered to be a fantastic hexagram. That obviously, the question in general, you know, you have to have the moving line before you can really make a proper consensus of opinion over it. But even without that, even without the moving line, look at that hexagram. Not brilliant. This is a very, very powerful tool for you, definitely. This is something different, and it will aid you and help you in your daily routine, because this is a time of day when people are stressed out to the limit. There's so many people walking around and they've got anxiety over things, they're depressed over things, they can't get answers to their problems, they don't know who to turn to, and we live in an age where, you know, we want it now. We don't want to wait next week, and we don't want to go and talk to Joe Blogs and make an appointment. We want an answer now, where you can get it now, and this will do it for you. This really is powerful, I tell you. You can walk your shopping trolley around your local supermarket. You can be looking at 2 chickens and a pork pie, and in your head you can be asking that question: why did Dave wake up this morning and blank me? And it'll give you an answer, and you'll know, and that will probably help you get through the day. There are so many things you can do with this book, and you know, this is something that is so simple to learn it's not true. Once you get into it, it becomes a daily must. It really does. Anyway, back to our question. Look, all we have to do now that we have that hexagram 43 quai, all we have to do is form one moving line to get a detailed answer. We can't do it in this tutorial, but we'll save that for a later date. My name is Anthony J Mead. I am the author of Simplified I Ching. It's available from Amazon Books, so go in and have a look at it. And I thank you for listening to this audio video.